Hi, welcome. So we are going to continue looking at some intermediate concepts in SQL, and we are going to talk about the window functions. So there are so many window functions, but the concept of window functions is about trying to do some calculations based on a series of rows which are related to the current row. So you think of things like running totals, running averages, things like you want to take out the row number from the just extract the row number and add it like a column, things like that. There are so many interesting functions under the window functions family. So you have things like partition by, and then at times you want to average rows with partition, and then you can use rank. There are things like enter. There are so many, but we are just going to introduce you to a couple, and then you understand the concept and also open up your mind so that you're able to do more with your research. So let's just go straight to the computer and visit a couple of window functions. So here, if you've looked at the group by function before, you would remember that we could group by some data. We could use group by to group some data set or some rows, and it would just be directly linked to those rows. But there are times you want to have something like maybe the average of the database just as a column, so that you can want to subtract. Say you want to do some standard deviation or to do some variance. You want to know what is each value minus the mean, each value minus the mean, each value minus the mean. So you just want the mean to be constant, and then you're subtracting from it, not like the mean of a group of values, but just the general mean. So maybe with an example, you would understand better. So remember, we have this our data set here that we built. So if I open up this one here, you see is the staff demographic, and then we have this one staff salary. So you can always go back to a previous video and look at how to build this same database so that we can be on the same page, and also how to install Workbench. We have an earlier video where we showed you how to do that. So if we come now here and we want to talk about the window function, so let's just say if we want to look at something like what is partition over, partition by, because this is these are some of the common window functions that are used daily, and it's good to know them and add them to your tool set. So you can also talk about just arranging rows with partition, and then we can also just look at rank. So you want to rank certain rows in order position, you're ranking number one, number two, number three. So at times you need that for your reporting. So let's just look at that. And so we can first look at the partition by. So if you remember the group by, for example, if I have this this one here. So if, for example, I was talking about the staff salary, I would say select star from now staff salary. So let's just do it here so we see it again. Let's start from staff salary, and then here there might be times when, let me just put this one down a little bit. There might be times when you say you want to group by maybe this job title. So if I order this, you'll see that manager appears twice, receptionist appears twice, analyst appears twice. So you could use a group by. So let's just use a group by here. So group by. Now you would say up here that I want to get maybe the average, because remember group by works with an aggregation, either average, count, or sum, minimum, maximum. We've seen that in earlier videos, so I'll not go into detail. I just want to use this like a reference point and then show what the window functions bring on the table. So I'll just go to put average, and then I can say the average of maybe salary here. So, and then we want to group them by job title, and we're also interested in showing maybe the job title and then the salary. So we can go here and then we say we want to see the job title too. Job title, I'll just click here, comma, and then the average salary. Average salary. And then we just want to give this a name. So remember the alias. We have seen this in previous videos. So you can give an alias average salary. So you can always go back and check, because we are in the intermediate to some advanced stuffs here. So it's always good to go back and check the previous things that we've done. So now if I run this, I get my salary grouped by my manager. Now is this average, my receptionist is this average, care rep, all of that. Now we have them as group by. But now what is the difference between this and maybe this partition by? So let me just run do partition by here, then you'll be able to understand better how the Windows function is. The window functions are different. So select star. Now let me just take average. We'll take our, because you know you need to add your put your comma to make your columns, you know, just select the columns for you. We've already seen that. So let me just take average again of salary. Salary. And then now we are saying, now we want the average of salary, then we want it over. Now we can now put our statement of partition here. So we've used over and partition. So partition by. Now what do we want to partition it by? Let's take the same job title. So we want to partition it by job title. So let's just type it here, job title, and then now let's just call it, give it an alias again as average salary. I'll just shorten it like that, per title. Okay, so now we need to get now which table are we getting this from. So you need to add the from staff salary. So let's understand this query, what is happening here. So here, let me explain again. So here you've taken everything and then you want to get the average salary as an aggregation, which is the average here. So the average of all the manager salaries are 56,500, like these two, 65 plus 48. The average is 56. You see it appears here twice. That's why it is a window function, because it's like it runs on, it checks the rows and then it just keeps it and it's going to reuse it. So you see here, so we are saying that partition by job title and then give us the over. So it should be keep these values, put them all over the place. Think of it like that. So keep these values, and then we got this title as an alias from staff salary table. So the difference now is that if I want to do maybe to see how low is this first manager from maybe the staff ID 106 who is a manager and the staff ID 108 who are all managers, I want to compare what is the difference or the gap between their salaries. I could be able to add another calculation here to say subtract this salary minus the average per manager salary to see the difference. So this one is above the average by which percent, I could put it here. This one is below the average by what percent. Maybe I want to balance up the salary. Same thing here, the receptionist. This one is 50,000. So now I have a table where I can say maybe 50,000 minus 42.5. What is the balance? What is it? How much is it over the average? 35,000 minus 42,000. How much is it below the average? So I hope you understand how this partition over has been able to give you this compared to the group by that we had here, which grouped everything together, gave us the average salary of 556,500. And in some cases, this is what you want, but there are some cases where you would want to see like this compared to the average, each individual item compared to the average of that group. So let us move over now to the next one, which is now say we want to arrange this by rows. So let's just copy maybe this one. So just do some modifications there. So we can still take our, let's go to end this with a semicolon. So we can still take our select star, and then we get our average salary, and then we do over partition by. Now we can take job title, and then we continue with our other syntax that we know, like order by. So we say order by. Now we can say salary, for example, salary. Let's order by salary. And then now this one now as maybe average salary per title. And then we're saying from the staff table. So let's run this. So we see here now that where we have like the analyst, we have this 36,000, 47,000, the smaller salary and the bigger salary. Here, manager, the smaller salary and the bigger salary, the smaller salary and the bigger salary. So there might be times when you want instead the bigger one to be up for some reason. So remember, we have looked at this in previous videos. So we are just combining some of the things we have been learning and trying to put them together. So like this descend now, you say you add now the descending is true. So when you run this now, you now get the analyst, the first one is 47,000 and the second one is 36,000. Then you also get the care rep here, 6341, but you see how this one changes here. So the manager here, you have the 65 is the average first for this one alone. And then now you have the 48,000 now. This one comes and drops the things down and brings it down. So you're able to track along how the performance of the average has been moving as you add, as you move down. So if there were many, maybe the first care rep, it was 63,000. When this one came, it dropped down to 52,000. If there was a lower salary for the care rep, this one might go down to 48,000. So there are times you might need this to be able to report certain facts from your data, and then you can be able to use this arranging your rows with partition. So let's look at another commonly used one, which is the rank. So again, we will just say select, then we go to star. Now we call the rank. So remember, they are the columns that you're just adding a new column. So you should always put your comma, call the rank. Let me get this rank, and then now this is the function. Now we can say over. So let me just close this one here, close this one. Now we can say over. Now you are saying over, you put now your partition by inside this. So you partition by now job title, and then if you say maybe order by salary, for example, let's just do an order by salary. So, and then we can just give it an alias, maybe as, call it maybe let's just give it a name like salary rank. Yes, we can give it a name salary rank. So Then of course you have to specify the table. Which table are we talking about? So from staff salary. So here you put the staff salary here. Now let's run this. So here we get this now, and then you can see here salary rank. The here you have the rank. So you have for the analyst the first and the second, and then for the rep you have the first, the second, manager you have the first, the second, and then reception is the first, the second. So what if in I put descending instead here? So I put descending here instead. For example, when I run it, this is what you get now instead. So here the higher care rep is up, but yes, it's ranked as 1, and then the lower one is down, but it's ranked as 2. So maybe you are more interested, maybe if this was cost cutting, or say this cost is high, is 1, 2, so it's the opposite, but the ranking is there. But now the ordering here is in such a way that the first one up is always the first, the second one is always the second, but now you are doing it in reverse priority. So the bigger one is 1, yes, the smaller one is 2. In the other case, the smaller one was first instead, and then the bigger one was the second instead. So you see how you can use the rank function. So it's interesting to see what the rank and then arranging rows with partition and partition by can do to add to your skills in SQL. So I hope you have been able to learn and get introduced to Windows functions, and then you can be able to understand now how to do partition by, arranging your rows with partition, using rank. There are other interesting things you can do with Windows functions. You just continue your learning, do your research, and see you next video. Wish you good data luck.